Many sports cars and race cars throughout history have set out to prove the old saying that less is more and bigger isn't always better. This is not one of those cars.
Hey guys, let's start with the big question of this sport car racing era. The one of the famous greatest car racers' driving style work with Ferrari's 2025 F1 car? The driver behind the records. A greatest man has never been the loudest driver or the most aggressive on paper, but his greatness lives in the details. He is a late and deep braker, one of the last drivers in Formula One who truly uses the brake pedal as a steering tool. He doesn't simply slow the car down, he rotates it. Through trail braking, a man who loads the front tires while keeping the rear just stable enough to follow. It's a style that demands trust. Trust in the front end, trust in the rear, and trust that the car won't betray him at the worst possible moment. This is why he has always preferred a car with a planted rear end, even if that means sacrificing a little front end sharpness. And it's why his magic has so often appeared on Sundays, not Saturdays. A new machine, a new language. Ferrari's 2025 Challenger, the SF25, represents evolution, not revolution. But one change stands out immediately: the front suspension. Ferrari moved to a pull rod front layout, a choice driven by aerodynamics, airflow management, and long-term development. On paper, it's a gain, but for a driver like he, it changes how the car speaks. Early feedback suggested the front end felt muted, less communicative than what he had grown used to at Mercedes. And then came another adjustment. For over a decade, he had relied on Carbone Industrie brake systems. At Ferrari, he now works with Brembo hardware. Different materials, different bite, different modulation. For most drivers, it's a detail. For he, it's foundational. To adapt, he leaned deeper into aggressive engine braking maps, using the hybrid system to stabilize the rear and recover the feel he needs on corner entry. Slowly, the conversation between driver and car began to form. So, we're talking about the greatest champion forever, legendary car racer
Lewis Hamilton. The newly crowned 7-time Formula One world champion has driven some of the most memorable races in the history of the sport.
Formula One car has a personality. The SF25 is no different. Ferrari's engineers describe it as peaky, a car that rewards precision but punishes excess. It has a sharp front end, fast rotation, and a narrow operating window. For Charles Leclerc, this is home. Leclerc thrives on oversteer. He welcomes a nervous rear. He drives at the edge of control, sometimes beyond it. Early in 2025, Leclerc unlocked pace through extreme setups, forcing the car to rotate harder and earlier. Hamilton did not. Lewis values confidence more than aggression. He prefers to carry speed through stability, not snap. And that philosophical divide showed up most clearly in qualifying. Not because Hamilton lacked speed, but because he refused to gamble the rear end for a few tenths. This wasn't a failure. It was a different...
I find it easier to go left than going right.
This is normal.
Yeah?
But for me, I prefer right.
Okay.
But
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
No, I am left.
Okay, so
Yeah,
that's very...
it's normal. But
looked at
also the MotoGP riders, the same.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of riders are better on the left.
I saw the pictures this morning and I was like, damn it. I thought I was doing better in the position.
You have the picture?
Yeah, they
You have
showed me
here?
some
Show me.
pictures. Show you.
When man and machine are pushing in perfect harmony on the ragged edge of adhesion. And at the 2020 Styrian Grand Prix, Hamilton produced one of the finest and bravest driving displays of his career. The conditions in Austria were such that many had doubts as to whether qualifying would happen at all on Saturday, after final practice had been cancelled. But despite a handful of spins and crashes, qualifying continued, and Hamilton was left trading fastest sector times with Max Verstappen as the two protagonists to raise hopes he could topple Hamilton. The Dutch master spun at the penultimate corner. And whether he didn't know or didn't care, the man from Stevenage kept his foot to the floor to emerge from the mist and smash his previous best.
Look how treacherous the conditions are. Lewis Hamilton on pole position.
What a lap, champion's drive.
It was freaking awesome.
After pitting from the lead, he wasted no time in passing his former teammate with a no-nonsense manoeuvre. And another bold pass on Mark Webber after his second stop left him free and clear at the front, where he could truly put the hammer down.
It's a first win for Mercedes. Hamilton wins the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Great drive, Lewis. I'm very sorry that we made it a little bit more difficult for you, but wanted you to have the opportunity of driving a great car and hope you enjoyed it. But absolutely fantastic job. Well done.
That's okay, Ron. That's a good excuse. Don't worry. That's what you hired me for, so it's all good.
The cockpit battle no one sees. Sometimes the biggest battles in Formula One happen in silence. At Mercedes, during the early ground effect era, Hamilton famously said he felt like he was sitting on the front wheels. That destroyed rear-end feel. Ferrari's SF25 tells a different story. The cockpit is more centered. The weight distribution gives Hamilton better seat-of-the-pants feedback, a critical factor in managing rear slides and tire life. Then came the steering wheel. Hamilton requested a custom layout, larger shift paddles, a Mercedes-style button logic, and the K1 overtake button moved to the front face. Tiny details, huge consequences. Under braking at 5G, muscle memory matters more than talent. This is where Ferrari quietly listened and delivered. Race day where Hamilton still rules. If qualifying exposed the mismatch, race day revealed the harmony. Lewis Hamilton remains one of the greatest tire managers in Formula One history. His V-style cornering, squaring off entries and exits, minimizes time spent at high steering angles. The result? Lower tire temperatures, less degradation, and stronger pace when it matters most. Again and again, a pattern emerged. Hamilton might lose ground early, but as others fade, he comes alive. The SF25 may lack the outright qualifying punch of Red Bull or McLaren, but in clean air on long runs, Hamilton extracts everything it has. This is where Ferrari's strategy team and Hamilton's instincts align. Sunday is still his domain. The technical truth. So, what's the reality? The Ferrari SF25 does not naturally suit Lewis Hamilton's driving style. The front end can feel vague, the rear can snap under extreme setups, the operating window is narrow, but braking performance is strong, tire management is excellent, race pace is consistently competitive. This isn't a perfect match, it's a workable one, and in Formula One, that difference defines careers. Beyond 2025, there's a bigger picture unfolding. Ferrari have already begun shifting focus towards 2026 when the regulations reset the sport. For the first time in years, that future car will be shaped by two elite but very different voices, Leclerc and Hamilton. 2025 isn't about dominance, it's about learning. Lewis Hamilton doesn't need the SF25 to be perfect. He needs Ferrari to understand why it isn't. So, will it work? So, will Lewis Hamilton's driving style work with Ferrari's 2025 F1 car? Yes, but with limits. In qualifying, the mismatch is visible. In races, the harmony is real. Hamilton's experience, adaptability, and tire management allow him to extract results even when the car doesn't suit him perfectly. This won't be instant domination. It won't be effortless. But if Ferrari keep listening, and if Hamilton keeps adapting, this partnership has every chance to become something special. And in Formula One, that's usually how the greatest stories begin.
He came here to Silverstone and he has shown them all with one of the great drives. Lewis Hamilton wins the British Grand Prix.
We've already done it. Fantastic.
The 90,000 stand has won for Lewis Hamilton.
With his maturity, racecraft, and car control, he'd silenced his critics and pulled off a virtuoso wet weather drive in appalling conditions, and arguably his finest ever. In just his second season of Formula One, he displayed the hallmarks of a genius at the wheel. And, as it turned out, that's exactly what he was.
Thank you for watching, friends. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe.